There are 12 verb tenses in English, but did you know that only 5 verb tenses make up over 96% of speech? So not all verb tenses are created equally, and you absolutely need to feel confident with these 5 verb tenses, which is what you'll do today. Welcome back to JForrest English. Of course, I'm Jennifer. Now let's get started. Let's review the 5 verb tenses that make up over 96% of a native speaker's speech. The 5 verb tenses are the present simple, which makes up 57.51% of speech, the past simple, which makes up 19.7%, the future simple at 8.5%, the present perfect at 6%, and the present continuous at 5.1% of a native speaker's speech. And the total of all 5 verb tenses is 96.81% of speech. So let's make sure that you feel very confident using all 5 verb tenses. And don't worry, because I summarize everything in a free lesson PDF. So you can look in the description for the link to download the PDF. And at the end of this lesson, there's going to be a quiz to make sure you really understand these verb tenses. So let's start with the present simple. And pay close attention because I correct mistakes from my advanced students in the Finally Fluent Academy. They make mistakes with the present simple almost every time they submit their practice exercises. So pay close attention. Let's review the structure. For the subjects I, you, we, and they, you add the base verb. Now for the subjects he, she, it, you add the base verb plus s or es. And this is one of the most common mistakes that my advanced students make, forgetting to add that s. So don't forget that s for he, she, it subjects. The present simple is used to describe routines, habits in your daily life. For example, I eat breakfast every day at 6:00 a.m. It's also used to describe general facts and truths. For example, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. And notice I added those s's because the sun is it. He, she, it, you need those s's. It's also used for feelings, emotions, and states of beings. We are very excited for the concert tonight. Now here's one that most of my students don't use correctly, and the present simple is also used for timetable events, even if that event is in the future. For example, the train leaves at 5 a.m. tomorrow. It's very common to use an adverb of frequency with the present simple, which is one easy way that you can identify it. The most common adverbs of frequency are every day or always for 7 times a week, often, usually, or frequently for about 4 to 6 times a week, sometimes for 3 to 4 times a week, rarely or seldom for 1 to 2 times a week, and never for 0 times a week. So let's practice this just for fun. Share something silly that you never do or always do in the comments below. For example, I never brush my teeth while I'm driving. So share something silly in the comments just to have a little fun. Now let's move on to the past simple. To form the past simple, you have your subject, and then you have your base verb plus ed, or an irregular past simple verb, and there are many irregular verbs, so you simply need to memorize them. The past simple is used for an action that started and finished at a specific time in the past. For example, I went to the store yesterday. She took a shower at 8 a.m., but now it is 11 a.m., so 8 a.m. is in the past. They ordered pizza for dinner, and now it's 10 o'clock at night, so dinner is in the past. We sang all night. but I'm talking about maybe yesterday or the night before, so it's in the past. Let's review some past simple keywords so you can easily identify when you need to use this verb tense. Yesterday, last week, month, or year, in 2020, at 3:30 p.m., 4 hours ago, on Monday, on July 15th, when I graduated, or during the meeting. And remember, all of those keywords, the action started and finished in the past. Now let's talk about the future simple, another verb tense I see a lot of mistakes with. The structure is very easy. You have your subject, will, and base verb. It's the same for all subjects, which makes it easy. This verb tense is used to make predictions, but when it's based on your opinion, not facts. Argentina will win the World Cup. This is just my opinion. I don't know this as a fact. Someone else could say, I think France will win the World Cup. Notice here I added I think. It's very common to use an opinion word with the future simple. This verb tense is used for spontaneous actions or decisions, which means they were not planned in advance. For example, let's say you see a woman struggling with her grocery bags, and she has many grocery bags. You can say, I'll help you with those bags. You didn't plan this in advance. It was a spontaneous action. It's also used with promises, commitments, offers, or refusals. If you say, I'll send you the report at 5 p.m., you're making a promise or a commitment. It's like saying, I promise I'll send you the report at 5 p.m. So the other person will expect it if you use the future simple. Now let's talk about the present perfect, a verb tense that confuses a lot of students, but absolutely you must know how to use it. The structure is I, you, we, they, plus have, plus the past participle. And you simply need to memorize all the past participles. Now for the subjects he, she, it, you need to use has as your auxiliary verb and the past participle. Now, did you know that the present perfect is also used with the completed past action, but one that has a result or consequence in the present? For example, I have eaten. That is a completed past action. Now, it's common to use already, but it's not required. I have already eaten. So what's the result in the present? So now I'm not hungry. It's also used for life experience when it's an unfinished timeline. For example, she's been to Panama twice. Now, because she is alive, she can go to Panama again, so it's an unfinished time reference. Or you could say, I haven't seen that movie yet. Yet is a keyword for the present perfect, and we use it in negative sentences. And by saying yet, you're letting the person know that it's still possible for you to watch that movie in the future, so it's an unfinished time reference. Now, the present perfect is also used for an action that started in the past and continues until now, but only with 3 common verbs: live, work, and study. For example, they've lived in that house for 20 years. They still live there now, and it started in the past. It started 20 years ago. Very important point, you can't use a specific time reference with the present perfect. You must use the past simple. This is a very common mistake that I see my students make. So you can't say, I've tried sushi last week, because last week is a specific past time reference. So you would have to say, I tried sushi last week, or you could get rid of last week and say, I've tried sushi. Let's move on to our last verb tense, the present continuous. The structure is I am plus verb in your ing form, your gerund verb, you, we, they, are plus verb in ing, or he, she, it is plus verb in ing. So don't forget, you have to conjugate the verb to be according to the subject. The present continuous is used for an action that is currently taking place. Right now, now. So I could say, my students are, because the subject is they, my students are watching my video right now, right? You're watching this video right now. You can also use the present continuous with the future if it's a planned action in the future. For example, he's attending the conference next month. It's in the future, but it's planned. He's attending the conference next month. Or she's performing at the World Cup in 2026. So even though it's way in the future, you can still use the present continuous if it's a planned event. An important note that you should know, because I know it might confuse students. Native speakers use the present continuous with always to stress the continuation of something negative. She is always coming to work late. So instead of saying she always comes to work late, because always is a keyword for the present simple, native speakers frequently put this in the present continuous. I don't recommend that you do that because it really depends on the context if it sounds correct or incorrect. But grammatically, it's always correct to use the present simple with always. So that's what I recommend that you do. I'm just sharing this so you don't get confused when you hear a native speaker say, she is always coming to work late. Now you know the 5 verb tenses that make up 96% of your speech. So are you ready for your quiz to make sure you really know how to use them? Here are the questions. Hit pause and take as much time as you need, and when you're ready to continue, hit play. Here are the answers. Hit pause, review the answers, and when you're ready to continue, hit play. So how'd you do with that quiz? Make sure you review this lesson and again because these 5 verb tenses make up 96% of your speech, so you absolutely need to know them. Do you want me to make more lessons where we dive deep into verb tenses? If you do, then put more tenses in the comments below. And of course, make sure you like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you're notified every time I post a new lesson. And you can get this free speaking guide where I share 6 tips on how to speak English fluently and confidently. You can click here to download it or look for the link in the description. And I have a masterclass that dives deep into important grammar concepts. So make sure you click here and watch it right now.